party started. Hey everybody, I'm Paula Montgomery from Desert Cat Creations. I want to welcome you to our Bead Stash Challenge. It's week 18, so we're going to draw cards to see what we're going to make on Thursday, because that's what we do every week. And we're going to make a quick project, and you guys can help me decide what project to make if you're around. So I've been working on behind the scenes on my my quail design. I'm very excited. It's all coming together. I got all my pieces and parts in, so I will be showing you that soon. And then we're going to start working on some other things. All right, so let's go ahead and get started, since I'm starting a few minutes late, and then we'll do announcements at the end. Okay. Alrighty, let's get some zoom in here. All right, I had some questions earlier this week on bead frames. Okay, so I wanted to really quickly show you the bead frame. If you bought the findings kit from me, you should have gotten a few of these bead frames. So you'll see there's a hole that goes through, and it's designed for you to put a bead in the middle. Let's see if I have a bead that'll fit. That one won't quite fit. Try to see if I have something smaller. I don't know. Oh, okay, there's a bead. But, I mean, you'd want something maybe a little bigger than that. But the idea is that you string it, and you can string beads in the middle of the frame, right? But there's multiple kinds of frames. You can even find, we used this one, actually two different ones. So I used a donut bead that had holes through it as a bead frame, and I also used this cool triangle as a bead frame. So you never know what you can use, but you know, basically you just need something that goes around your bead, right? So you could wrap around your bead and make a frame. So don't panic if you draw that card. Just wanted to clarify a little bit what that was. So let's go ahead and draw our week 18 design. So as a reminder, always, this is the Bead Stash Challenge. So Bead Stash Challenge is a series of cards that is designed to help you use your bead stash and just boost your creativity by making you try different things, making you think about different ways of doing things and all that. So if you're one of those people that you love to stare at your pile of beads that you just bought and you don't know where to start, or you have like a monthly subscription and you don't know where to start, this helps you because it tells you what to make. So our make cards, this week we are going to make a barefoot sandal. So I do have 5 different decks out there. Everything builds off of deck 1. So if you're just starting out, you want to buy at least deck 1. But then we also have our color deck, which adds a variety of cards to use in different colors. So that gets you out of, if you're like me and you make things the same color all the time, it helps you try some different color combinations, any of that stuff, right? Then we have the non-jewelry and findings deck, which helps you learn to make like your own findings. It helps you use all the different kinds of findings in your stash, and it also has you make some non-jewelry things like a beaded sculpture we made last week as our project. We made our beaded tostada, yum yum. And it won't ask you to make a beaded tostada, just so you know. It asks you to make a beaded sculpture, and your sculpture could be a rabbit or a spider or something like that. Anyways, a variety of things, right? So those are non-jewelry items. Keychains, bookmarks, things like that are non-jewelry items, right? Then we have two theme decks. We have our Sun and Sea deck, which is all things summer. So this comes from our Sun and Sea deck. And we've made barefoot sandals a couple times. So always a fun project. And then the Sun and Sea deck is all things summery, vacationy, beachy, all that good stuff. And then we also have our Desert Southwest deck, which is all things like in the desert. So think Arizona, New Mexico, things like that. You have cactus, you have, you know, nature, you have food, you have all that stuff rolled into that deck. So that's where our Mexican food themed sculpture came from. Hey, Janelda. So we're just drawing. We're going to make a barefoot sandal this week. So the next kind of cards we have is our used cards. These are designed to get you to use the different items in your bead stash. Now I have, like I said, all the cards shuffled in together. When I take them out after we do our, and then I wait until I'm out of cards and we shuffle them all back in again. So none of these decks are the full decks from all 5 of our decks, but they do include all the 5 decks. So to make our barefoot sandal, we're going to use pastel colors. All right, if that's doable. We're going to use mermaid beads. That's appropriate. So mermaid beads are also called aurora beads. They're, but you could use a bead with a mermaid on it. So just, you can take it literally. And we use red. Okay. I think that's doable. Sometimes you get things that don't make sense with the sandals, but since that's all colors or types of beads, I think we can do it. All right. So our last type of card is our challenge cards. And these have us apply either a design aspect or a theme to our design. And I find that these can be very helpful because, you know, well, this barefoot sandal is very pretty focused, so that one's not a challenge or not a problem. But sometimes, you know, if it just says make earrings, you don't always know where you want to start, right? But oh, look at that. So design something inspired by a mermaid. So this was a pretty lucky draw. Things kind of go together. So I'll have to think about my mermaid inspiration, right? And then we're going to use mermaid beads, which helps. And we're going to use red and we're going to use pastels. So not a combination you would necessarily go for, but we'll see. You know, you can always make it work. Like you sneak in one little small bead and it satisfies our requirement. Okay, so Thursday we will make that sandal. Okay, and that's at noon Mountain Standard Time, which this time of year is Pacific Daylight Time. Okay, all right, so I thought I would make a project, and I'm torn between making a bracelet to go with my earrings that I made last week, which was using beads from the newest Bargain Bead Box. Blah, I can't talk today. All right, or whether I wanted to make some nice sunshiny earrings using these sun charms, and this is actually components from the previous bead box. Okay, what do you think? Should I make a bracelet to match my earrings? I'm kind of leaning that way because I might take that color combination with me. Don't know that this other one is necessarily gonna be a good, although I have lots of peachy stuff. What do you think, Janelda, since you're the only one out there with me? Should I make a bracelet or earrings? I've actually been wearing my earrings, so they're in the other room, but they're the same color as our butterfly earrings, which I do have butterfly earring kits out on the website. So if you're into spring and butterflies, we have 3 kits available. A bracelet, yeah. Oh, I got mine yesterday too, but I haven't had time. I barely had time to open it. All right, so anyways, if you like butterflies, we do have three butterfly kits available on our website right now. So we have this Amazonite one. So it includes everything except for the wire. Okay. It does include the earpieces. So this is the halite one. This is the Amazonite one. This one's a little cheaper because I have less beads. And then we have the pink quartz version as well. And if you're not interested in the whole kit but would like to get some butterflies, you can contact me directly and maybe we can work something out there. So Janelle, yeah, I got mine. I almost decided to make a cute pair of earrings, and then I changed my mind today. I'm leaving the bundle till later. All right, let's see what's bracelet material here. I do have a clasp. Our Amazonite, our spacer beads. I think I want to use I want to use that color scheme. Get some different metal components here. Don't think I need chain. All right, let's make something beachy. I'll leave these out in case I want to add some crystals. All right, well, if I use this clasp, I think I want to do something chunky. So this is a fold-over clasp, which I do not have a fold-over clasp as one of our clasps for our findings, because you don't see them that often. But so this one, it opens up in the back, and then to close it, you just kind of snap it shut. Okay. So if we want to use that, that's fine. It's a fairly, gonna add some length to our clasp, so I definitely want to use my chunkier beads, but I might want to use these ones. Oh, I think I saw your necklace, Janelda. It was very pretty. I am not much of a hand knodder because it takes a lot of time and patience. I apparently don't have much of that these days, or at least the patience part. All right, so we have some different beads here. Maybe we'll just use a couple of the chunky ones. I like these kind of misshaped things. Maybe add a little crystal for spacers, just to... Oh, hey, Marianica. We're designing a bracelet, and I'm being very slow about it. But I think we're getting there here. All right. This is what happens when I go goof off on a Saturday, and then at the last minute I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do on Sunday morning, or Sunday, well, I guess it's not morning, it is afternoon for everybody. All right. And it really doesn't matter where I cut this, but I always prefer to kind of do it at the end, although I think that one will go right through. So, all right, let's see. I think we can do something here. So, oh, okay. Yeah, I have a bunch of beading thread, which I bought because I was doing a lot of kumahimos, but I haven't used much of it to make projects, so I should consider that. Do you think, I don't know, I'm thinking I don't need, I don't know, goodness, I don't know what I want to do here. I'm actually thinking maybe doing a kind of a block design. So maybe so maybe like a couple beads and a spacer, you know. I am just winging this. Let me see if I can. I'll get a little more. Make sure. Let me move that up a little. So we could do sort of a block. So that would be my block. So, you know, a little bit of each type of bead, or we could do something completely. We could do a pattern, or we could do something, you know, just sort of random, right? You never could get it. I did it for a while, but I haven't done it in a while. So I like the beaded kumihimo. It's very popular in Tucson for some reason. Like all of our bead stores say they are the, you know, kings of kumihimo, and then we also have the design and adorn people who are famous for their kumihimo kits are from here. So what do you think? Should I just do some sort of random thing for the beachy, or do you think like chunks, blocks of color? It's like a really loud bird outside my thing right now. What do you guys vote for? Blocks or random? You're helping me design a bracelet. Or for that matter, we could just use like a couple of kinds of beads. Sounds like a card. It could be. I have a crazy cardinal. It's a female, and she's constantly pecking at my windows and our grill top. So that might be her. Actually, I don't think I like the blocks. So the question is, do I do it random or do I do a pattern? Put those guys back. You like chunky? Yeah. All right, let's put some things on our wire and see what I can't decide if I need to some silver in there. All right, let's put a couple of these on here and see what we think. Oh, I forgot the crystal. All right, let's look at this in up close and see what we think. You like that design? Like lots of different colors in there, huh? It's not bad, huh? You like that? Okay. I like it too. So I'm going to keep going here. You know, some of these beads I probably wouldn't normally buy them because they're very neutral, and I tend to forget that neutral is a good thing sometimes. But they're very beachy looking, especially with all the colors. It is a really pretty collection of beads, in this box. I like that. I'm just wondering how long this is because the clasp is kind of long. I think we may have to go ahead and put the clasp on one end and then see if we need to change things. So I think I don't want a metal one at the end. Oh, I forget to get my crimp beads out. All right. I think I'll put this end on first. I don't know that it matters. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put my crimp bead on. And let's look at this and see if that, I think it'll be okay. I don't, I really, I like this clasp, but I think it probably, you know what, we'll try it on a bracelet, right? I don't know if, I was going to say I think it might be better on a necklace, but I don't know why I think that, because I think it could just as easily be bumped off there. So, all right, so I'm sliding my bead up there. Got our magic crimper, and we're centering that crimp bead in the divot, and then we're going to give it a good squeeze. So you get your ravioli, and then we're going to turn it sideways, and we're going to squeeze again, and then I'm going to gently turn it and squeeze it until it looks nice and smooth. I have a hard time, making sure that things get turned sometimes, but there we got a nice little bead-shaped thing there. So I did not check to make sure these beads have big enough holes, but looks like they do. All right, so let's I'm going to leave that tail on there because, you know, you want that in case something comes apart. So let's take a look at how long this is. So see, it's already at 7 inches, so I think I may have to take some, I'm going to have to take some beads off. So I'm going to cut this, and I need to take off at least those ones, right? I think I might let's put, this is where we're gonna have to play a little here. So I'm gonna put the crimp bead on, and then I'm gonna put this end on because we're gonna see what, so if I were to pull this all the way down, and then let's all right, so that that will reach. So I actually think that's a good good length. So I am going to feed this through a few of these beads. So what I want to do is get this fairly tight, right? Let's see what the length ends up. So it's right at 7 inches, which for me, it works. So you want your beads not so tight that they can't bend, right? But tight enough that you don't have a whole lot of thread showing, or beading wire showing. Although I chose to use a really pretty beading wire. But I'm going to tighten it up. You do need a little space for the to fit your tool in, right? So again, you put it, center it in the divot, and we have our ravioli again, turn sideways, and then we just circle until we get it nice and firm and looking pretty. All right, now we need to clip this without clipping the main one. I know seems like you won't ever do that, but everybody does at some point. And then now we got to see how this works with getting it on, because I don't usually use this kind of clasp. But you know what? I have a helper. We have our bracelet helper. So I'm going to hold on to that end. And I'm going to stick it in my hand, so I'm holding this against my wrist. And then I'm opening that clasp, putting it through there, and snapping it shut. And, you know, if you're talented, you could probably do that without the helper, but I actually found that once I started using the bracelet helper, it makes it so that I always use the bracelet helper pretty much. But there we go. We have a nice beachy bracelet, and hopefully, you know, that clasp is real pretty. Like I said, I don't know that whether people normally would recommend that on a bracelet, but it's fine. And it can even be a little pretty if that ends up being, you know, sort of a focal point on there. Alrighty. Well, that was fun. I have new stuff, always new stuff to play with, but now I have a bracelet to go with my earrings that we made last week, so very exciting. Woohoo! Alrighty, yay! Bracelets. Can you ever have enough bracelets, right? All right. Well, thanks for helping with that. So Thursday, again, we will be making a barefoot sandal with pastel colors, mermaid beads, red, and inspiration from a mermaid. Okay. So that all works out for me, right? As always, never. Okay, I don't recall what you're saying never about, Janelda, but thank you. Oh, you can never have enough bracelets. Never mind. Okay. Sometimes I forget what I'm talking about. All right. As always, please continue to support us by liking and following our business page at Desert Cat Creations on Facebook, Instagram, and, you know, just a little like or a comment on our posts can really help the algorithms make more people see our stuff. Okay. And I will be and on Instagram, because everything moves over to Instagram. Everything moves over to YouTube because Facebook doesn't save the videos. So those are usually linked in the pictures when I post the pictures up of the finished projects. These other ones, which I consider bonus projects, are over there, but I don't necessarily have a link to them from Facebook, so you'd have to go look for them if you want to see them, okay? So starting next Sunday, I will, I'm actually leaving on my trip a week from Monday, okay? And so I'm not going to do a live on Sunday, but I will draw cards. I haven't decided if I'm going to take stuff with me to make stuff or if I'm going to try to do it beforehand. If I do it beforehand, then I might video it and then just post the videos later. But so it'll be 2 weeks before I'm back live, okay? Other than this coming Thursday, it will be live. All right, so just want to let you guys all know that. So also, if you order anything, I will not be shipping during that time. But I also won't be posting anything that you might want to buy in there during that time. So, so anyways, there will be great stuff coming when I get back. You will be traveling a week from Tuesday. Oh, okay. So you'll be traveling too. So when I get back, there's going to be some fun things. Like I said, I think I have the components and designs worked out for the quail kit. I just have to decide whether it's going to be a family of quail or just 2. I think it's going to be 3. Okay. I'll have to write the directions when I get back. I haven't done that yet, but I think I do have a design that's I've managed to be happy with. Okay, so those are, I'm excited about that. And then we'll be working on the cat. The cat will be also our next sculpture coming up. I am looking at possibly doing a new deck of cards or two. I just, it's a tough decision whether, where to invest money, right? So in the sculptures or the cards. I also have some stuff for some bead mixes, which is kind of funny. If you're in the Bargain Bead Box next month's, I have a bead mix that would go great with next month's box. So I'll just put that out there if you haven't watched it. And it's not, as far as I know, there's only like one overlap, but my beads will be a different shape. So anyways, so yeah, a decision whether to put those out without a deck of cards to go with them or not, will be coming when I get back. Okay, so I'm not going to worry about that before I go. So anyways, you guys have a great week. I will see you on Thursday at noon, and we will be making a barefoot sandal or two, because you really need to, right? So I will yeah, I'll have to figure out my design and all that stuff. I can tell you we don't wear barefoot sandals in Arizona because the ground is very warm in the summertime, but maybe if I go to the beach somewhere. But we will be making some barefoot sandals. All right. So have a great week. Stay safe. Be creative. Get out there and do something. As always, if you have any questions, reach out. And I will try to guide you through it. Lorraine, I did at the beginning, I don't know that you were on yet, I did show a couple of examples of bead frames. So I think we got that straightened out yesterday or whatever, yeah. But if not, you can go back and look at it. Because like I said, here's some examples of a bead frame. These happen to be made out of gemstone. There's also a donut. So the idea is there's a hole in each end, right? And they also have metal ones. And like I said, I know if you bought the findings kit from me, there was definitely some bead frames in there. Okay, so all right, I will see you all Thursday and around in other places on the internet as well, and Facebook. So have a great week. See you soon. Bye.